Hey y'all, it's Amanda and I am here at Lowe's in Garland, Texas, right by Firewheel Mall. And we're going to be checking out their collection of bare root roses today. Okay, so let's check out what they have. A lot of their prices are in the $19.98 range. Remember, these are bare root roses that have recently been planted up in soil, and so these should be treated as bare roots in my personal opinion. There's some that go down to $16.98, and I see some as low as $14.98 down here. So let's start going through the varieties and seeing what they have. Now, True Bloom is a particular company that develops their own flower types. I'm not very familiar with them, and I have not grown any True Bloom roses. You can recognize them by all of their names have True in front of them. You can also get these varieties at Walmart. They're smaller bare roots, but they are less expensive. These are pretty large, which is nice. All of these roses are grafted. All of the roses we're looking at today. You can always tell when a bare root rose is not grafted because it's going to be closer to the $40, $50 range. And if you can't afford non-grafted roses, you should totally go for it. Okay, this is a hybrid tea rose. Hybrid tea roses are going to have one long stem, are going to have multiple long stems with one large bloom on the end of it. Let's see, we've got some climbing roses we're going to look at, and Floribunda. A Floribunda rose is going to be shorter, smaller, more compact rose, and at the end of each cane is going to be a cluster of smaller blooms. And then let's see if there's any Grandiflora roses here. Oh, here's a Grandiflora. Okay, and then Grandiflora roses are basically a combination of hybrid tea and Floribunda roses, and they combine them together, so you're going to get long stems that are going to have clusters of blooms, but the blooms are going to be really large. They're going to be smaller for Floribunda, larger for Grandiflora, and if you have a hybrid tea, it's just going to be a single bloom. Hybrid teas were developed for florist work, so just one long, beautiful stem bloom. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the True Bloom roses. I'm just going to basically show you what they have, and then I'm probably going to move on to some more interesting roses. This is True Passion, which is a hybrid tea. This is True Sincerity, which is going to be a Floribunda. True Inspiration, hybrid tea. Saw Passion, True Gratitude, which is a climbing shrub. And then True Kindness, which is a hybrid tea. So this one right here is Zephyrdrohen, which is a climber. And I actually have this in my garden right now, and I love it. And I was just reading the description, and the description is incorrect. It's talking about a white rose, so that's weird. This mature size is about 10 to 15 tall by 6 to 8 wide. It's hardy, non-hardy in zones of 1 through 4, but it has a lovely scent and lots of beautiful blooms, kind of a little bit smaller blooms in my opinion. I'm really excited about that one this year for myself. All True Blooms. Okay, let's come this way. That's another climbing. This one is climbing Westerland, and this has a warm, rich apricot orange color and a lovely perfume, strong fragrance. I wish they would put the details of them on the front. Non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. Mature size as trained is what it's saying, so you can train it to whatever size you would like. This one is a Double Delight hybrid tea. Remember, hybrid tea is going to have a long stem with one large bloom on the end. It says this award winner has been wowing rose lovers for decades. Superb exhibition rose. And it's going to be about 4 to 6 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide. Non-hardy in zones 1 through 4. Okay, next I have Sweet and Sassy, which is a hybrid tea rose. Sweet and Sassy's blooms average 5.5 inches in diameter and sit atop long, sturdy stems with a profusion of glossy green leaves. She's a vigorous grower and perfect for cut flowers in the vase. Very pretty. And 4 to 5 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 4. Next is climbing Joseph's coat, and this is one I've been wanting to add to my garden. I'm trying to decide between it and pinata, and this one is a profusion of bright red, pink, orange, and yellow, and what makes this rose popular. So a wide variety of colors, and it is mature as trained, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. Okay, next is Cherry Parfait, which is Grandiflora. Remember, that's going to be a combination of Floribunda and hybrid tea, so long stems with clusters of large blooms. This one is Cherry Parfait's beautiful blossoms are the perfect topping to a very nicely shaped plant. This one's going to be 5 to 6 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. Next is Angel Face, and this is beautiful. Look at that color. And Angel Face is extremely fragrant blooms on dark glossy foliage. This is a Floribunda, so it's going to be shorter variety at 3 feet high by 3 feet wide, and it's going to have clusters of smaller blooms at the ends. So a sweet lady from Lowe just came by and said she watches me all the time. I told her she made my day. Okay, Pinata is the other one that I'm considering. I'm trying to decide between Pinata and Joseph's Coat. This is a climber, clusters of incredibly vibrant orange, coral, yellow, scarlet, and bright pink flowers all in one plant. And mature height is 6 to 10 feet by 6 to 10 feet. Very pretty. This is John F. Kennedy, and it is a hybrid tea, so it's going to be one large bloom at the end of the stems. Cherished mostly as a tribute to the popular president. Fruity licorice fragrance. And 5 to 6 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide. Non-hardy in zones 1 through 4. Next is Cardinal. Cardinal is a hybrid tea. Cardinal continually produces perfect flowers on long, strong stems. 3 to 4 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 6. Well, that's actually interesting. Okay, next is Climbing Blaze, and I really like this one as well. I love climbing roses. Undoubtedly the most popular climbing rose and one of the most prolific bloomers. Light fragrance. And its mature height is 10 to 15 feet high by 8 foot wide. It's a big one. Next is Chrysler Imperial. This is a lovely red rose, strong fragrance, velvety dark red blooms with long cutting length stems. Mature height is 5 to 6 feet by 3 to 4 feet wide, and it is non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. And then this is Climbing Joseph's Coat, which we talked about. Okay, now we're switching to a different variety. The price is dropping a little bit, and I do think that these roots look a little bit smaller than the ones that are a few dollars more. So this one right here is Lagerfeld, and I believe Lagerfeld is a hybrid tea rose. It is 4 to 6 feet tall by 4 to 6 feet wide, hardy in zones, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. Here's Pinata, which we talked about already. Double Delight, which we talked about. Zephyrin Drohen, which we talked about. This one right here is Fragrant Cloud. As the name suggests, this extremely fragrant rose is a must for the garden and vase. Very, very pretty. Extremely fragrant. Height is 5 to 6 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide. Non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. I feel like this is a hybrid tea. Okay, next is Mr. Lincoln. And this one I actually have in my garden and I love it. It is massively large blooms, absolutely beautiful, very velvety, extremely fragrant, it smells amazing. 4 to 5 feet tall by 4 to 5 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5, and I believe this is a hybrid tea rose. And then finally on this road, Pascali Rose, which is a white, a traditional white. Has a light fragrance. I'm always wary of white roses because if we get any kind of rain, they brown so easily. And this mature size is 5 to 6 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 4. Okay, moving this side. Make sure I haven't missed any. We've got some over here, some different varieties over here, which is exciting. Brandy. That one's pretty. This golden bronze hybrid tea has a tall, upright habit with thick stems that are ideal for cutting. Mild fragrance. That's lovely. 3 to 5 feet tall by 3 to 5 foot wide. Non-hardy in zones 1 through 6. And that might be one of the only kind of apricot peachy roses that I've seen so far. Okay, next is Belinda's Dream Hybrid Tea, and I do have this in my garden, and it is such a tried and true rose in the North Texas area and just thrives in our weather, even the heat. Masses of fragrant blooms on strong stems make it ideal for bouquets, and it's very easy to grow. Height is 3 to 4 feet by 3 to 4 feet, non-hardy in zones 1 through 4. Now we talked about Double Delight. This one is Perfume Delight. Rich, deep rose pink blooms are produced on long stems for cutting. Mature height is 5 to 6 feet by 3 to 4 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 4. Now this one is one I'm not familiar with, Sexy Rexy. This is a Floribunda, so it's going to be a shorter variety, and it's have clusters of small rose blooms at the end. It says exhibition formed. Oh, see, this is labeled incorrectly again. Crystal white blooms. So that is not it. That is not correct. These are obviously not white. Mature height is 3 to 4 feet by 3 to 4 feet wide. Hardy, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. Okay, and we talked about Cardinal Hot Chocolate. Hot chocolate displays an unusual coloring of a smoky chocolate orange, which stays vibrant and beautiful, fully contrasts against her glossy dark green foliage. She has 4-inch blooms that offer a spicy fruit fragrance. There's a Floribunda, so 3 to 4 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet tall, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. Floribundas are really good for borders since they're shorter varieties. Hybrid teas are going to go more towards the back. Grandifloras tend to be a little bit larger as well. This one right here is Love. These striking bicolored blooms are scarlet red with silvery white reverse. This size is 4 to 6 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. Okay, next is Sunbright, and it is a hybrid tea. Beautifully shaped blooms of clear yellow that do not fade. Deep green foliage, light fragrance. Oh my gosh, a cat just walked by. Hold up. There's a kitty cat. All right, sorry, squirrel moment. Okay, so the Sunbright hybrid tea, and it is going to be 5 to 6 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. And then right here we have New Day hybrid tea, and this is on my list of wants. Such a clear, beautiful yellow color. This stunning bloom is enhanced by a spicy perfume that lingers in the air. This rose is busy producing bloom after bloom, putting on a show all season long. Intense, spicy fragrance. 5 to 6 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 4. All right, we talked about John F. Kennedy. Next is Iceberg, and this is a classic, probably the best white landscape rose available, easy care and vigorous. This is a Floribunda, so it's better for like border situations. 4 to 5 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 4. We talked about Mr. Lincoln. Miss All-American Beauty. Well-formed blooms of rich hot pink. Color lasts from bud to finish. Sweet rose perfume. Strong fragrance. 3 to 4 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide. Non-hardy in zones 1 through 4. Talked about hot chocolate. All right, talked about Lagerfeld, Joseph's Coat, Pinata, Rio Samba. And Rio Samba makes an excellent garden centerpiece with its profusion of blooms. Light fragrance. Mature height is 3 to 4 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide. Non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. And we've got Sunsprite, which is a deeper yellow. The best yellow rose bar none. Deep yellow, long-lasting color, and super sweet fragrance. And it is a Floribunda. Sorry, I should have said that. And this one's short at 24 to 36 inches high by 24 to 36 inches wide, non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. Next is Fireworks. This is also a Floribunda rose. Fireworks is a breathtakingly beautiful striped rose where color is burgundy red and swirled with creamy white. The strong fragrance is sweet and spicy. I like bicolored, it's like that. Average size is 4 to 5 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide, and it's non-hardy in zones 1 through 5. And then finally, Sweet and Sassy, which is a hybrid tea. Sweet and Sassy's blooms average 5.5 inches in diameter and sit atop long. I feel like we read this one already as I'm going through it. We did. Okay, I had hoped for more varieties. I would say the main difference between Lowe's and Home Depot is Lowe's has all these true bloom varieties. But in regards to all of these, this Windmill company, these are the same company that's being utilized at Home Depot, and a lot of the same varieties. Here, I would say that Zephyr Drohen is one of the best that you can get here at Lowe's. I do think Home Depot had a little bit more variety. And if you're in the North Texas area, you can definitely pick these up. These can withstand some significant cold. If you're picking them up around the time of our massive freeze that we're having, keep them inside your garage or keep them inside, keep them well watered and good to go. But once we're through the massive freezes, they can hang out outside as long as you don't let them dry out. So it's definitely okay to go ahead and pick them up, and it's also okay to go ahead and get them planted as long as you don't see any massive freezes, and I mean freezes below about 28 degrees in your next 2 to 3 week forecast. Okay, so I'm not currently buying my bare root roses. I'm getting to the point in my garden where I can't just buy to buy. I have to buy for a specific location and place, and I have not decided where I want to add a rose or two this year. I'm pretty sure I want to add a climbing rose, and so we'll be making the decision between that pinata and Joseph's coat. But I am excited to get out here and see this. We're about to go into a massive freeze literally today. I'm out in their greenhouse and the rain has already started, so kind of exciting. We're all going to be, cooped up in the house for the next 3 to 4 days, which I'm actually for. I think that's great. And so I'll be dreaming and researching on more roses. But I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what Lowe's has available today. All right, you all, if you're like me and you are on a gardening journey and you would like to do that with some gardening friends, be sure to check out my Patreon community. The link is in the video description below. It is a great group of people where we talk about all things gardening. And if you decide to become a certified Mad Gardener, you get access to lives, exclusive videos only available to patrons, group chats, photo sharing, and direct messaging to me. All right, y'all, as always, she's a Mad Gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.